Welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. Your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to season 3 of the Fanzone podcast. It is a return of all of your favourite co-hosts, minus the Statman, for this evening's episode. It is your League One predictions for the 2025-26 season, and what better way to kick things off than giving you our predictions. I mean, if you've tuned into the last couple of seasons, there's probably not much point us doing this. It's become pretty obvious who seems to win most of the time. That would be Ange, but thank you all very much for joining nonetheless. It is a pleasure to have you all with us this evening. There is plenty of you in the live chat, that is for sure. A huge welcome to you all. Channel members, of course, it goes without saying, and especially warm welcome to all of you. Season 3 is here. For those of you who haven't seen, our socials and our website and our screens, wherever you may find them, look a little bit different. We have changed how we look ever so slightly. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, we will usually have a nice pretty looking picture on the screen with little holes with all our faces in it, and they are in the works, but we can't give you too much too soon, so you'll just have to wait for those. This evening's episode, it is worth mentioning, is brought to you not only by us here at the Fanzone podcast, but our headline sponsor for this season. If you have been living under a rock and do not know as yet, it is Loving My Socials, previously of the preview show, and are now our headline sponsor. So a huge thank you to Leanne for showing us that unbelievable scenes heading into the new season. So a huge thank you to her. And as always, if you want to find out any more about our wonderful sponsors, then head over to our website. And who knows, we might have another one to announce pretty soon. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled on our socials. But we will stop all that rambling. 117, 18, 20 of you currently in the stream having a little watch. So a very warm welcome to you all. As I've already said, we cannot wait to get started. We've got some exciting things lined up for you this season. And without further ado, we'll get stuck in to our League One predictions. For those of you who watched the episode where we reacted to our predictions, you will know that there were some absolutely outrageous comments. Nice to have you with us this evening, Ben McQuaid.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to myself, really. Yeah, just don't listen to what I'm about to say.
Who finished last? Was it me?
Yeah.
But when I joined last?
No, you were last.
Oh, it was Colin who had a point more, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, that was it.
And somehow Ben McQuaid tied with first place.
Don't know how to manage that.
But purely for that terrible take on somebody, you got demoted and we brushed over that.
What was it? Who was it? What was it?
It was Friday Lolos being like this, the next coming of Gareth Bale.
Yeah, that is my surprise of the season, didn't I? Yeah, I don't think he's surprised anymore.
Warra.
You actually said he's got everything he needs to become the next Aaron Collins. Or better, I think you actually said.
Was that the quote?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say
wow.
And awful predictions. Leslie Davis has joined us this evening. Leslie, you didn't get away from.
Oh my God!
You had a rotten old time on that episode. So in that spirit, make sure you play along at home, because at the end of the season, hopefully we'll be a little bit happier and we'll be a little bit more excited about the outcome of the season. But play along at home, and we can all have a little laugh at how wrong, or maybe even right, this season we were. So let's run you through how this evening's episode is going to work. Same as last season, we are going to be giving you our predictions for a variety of different categories. You have your league predictions, so your top 2 teams to be promoted, first and second. You have your playoff contenders, and out of that, I will be asking who you think is going to win the playoffs. And then your bottom 4, who is in the relegation mix at the end of the season. And then we move on to your Wanderers predictions. So these are where we we try and predict who we think is going to be our player of the season, our top scorer, our signing of the season, and your surprise package, which was definitely interesting last season. Put it that way. So play along at home. But we will kick things off, and we'll hand over. It makes sense to hand over to the reigning champion of predictions, the woman who doesn't do predictions. Ange, we'll start with bottom 4.
Oh.
Bottom 4, eh? Okay. So.
Oh, Ange, before you do, like Ben said, play along, but get them in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get them in the
put
chat.
them in your chat. Put your bottom 4 in the chat.
Sorry, Ange. As you were.
No. Don't mention it. So you know that I always do so much research before we do this prediction.
Extensive.
Extensively research what's been going on.
Obviously, the way to do it.
Oh.
Honestly, stick your finger in the air. That's all I do. So my bottom 4, I'm going for rock bottom. AFC Wimbledon. Oof. And then, what is it? 20? How many is there? 24?
Yeah.
23rd, Burton Albion. 22nd, Northampton 10. That was my...
Cobblers.
Is that what they sound like?
I
No.
don't know. There's somewhere just
Nothing like that.
London, are they like
No.
in Keensey way? Where are they? I don't know geography.
Don't sound like that.
I just sit and be driven around places. And then 21st, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gone with Mansfield.
Oh.
Ooh. And purely because that's just what came to me. I did actually have a little look at what they've not really done much. None of them have really done much in the transfer window, which is why that's what I've done.
Yeah.
Wimbledon, I think, kind of did they hobble out of that league? I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to League 2 last year, but
this woman wins league predictions every single year. By the way,
like this, doing it this way.
Fair play to her.
yeah. So that's my bottom 4, people. Yay!
there you are. May as well all just copy Ange, folks. To be fair.
Yeah. I'm just going to scribble mine
I
out.
don't think I get many points towards at the bottom end of the table, or do I?
I can't remember. I
More
can
than
find
us.
out. But whilst somebody else does their predictions, maybe Chris Dawson, I will let you know how you scored.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go bottom up. Alarmingly similar to Angela. However, I have written them down. It is legit. It's not. I'm not copying
Just let you
homework.
all to submit them.
Yeah. Put them in a sealed envelope. I'm going rock bottom. And sorry to John Beer. Exeter City will go down this season. I'm sorry to say. Even with who I think is an excellent manager, I think they will struggle big time this season. In 23rd, I'm going to go, I think, Ange, you said the same, Burton Albion. It's just, without going into like loads of research, just keeping an eye out on business being done, players out the door, I just think they are weaker than last season, and they only scraped it last season. So no more doggy daycare. They're going down. And good riddance to that ground. 22nd, AFC Wimbledon, for probably the same reasons that Ange said. Very much so, the same reasons as Ange said. And in 21st, I am going with Mansfield Town.
Damn.
In it?
Couple. An interesting lineup.
So I must get a couple right there. So
for context, last season, Ange, your highest scoring,
David.
You were actually the highest scorer in the you were joint tied with Colin, but you got the most points in the relegation bottom four. So you were actually quite good, Chris. Fortunately, you got the worst. Can't win them all.
No.
Can't win them all.
Ange wins them all.
You got 3 points, so you were in the mix for your relegation fodder last season. Who have you got down to go down, all puns intended, this season?
Yeah, pretty similar to be honest. I've got AC Wimbledon.
Are you okay, Ben? Ben, are you okay?
Yeah. I think is I've got my bottom four. I've not got them in order, so I'm gonna have to kind of freestyle the order. I've got AFC Wimbledon rock bottom for similar reasons. They've lost a couple of key loanees they had on loan last season. And they've barely recruited anyone that I know of. So, in my opinion, that looks like a bad transfer window. Third bottom, I've got Burton Albion as well. I think basically what we said about Shrewsbury last year. There's only so long you can circle the drain and stay up in dramatic fashions. And sorry, Ed Walker, I think this is the year where you go down. But I feel like everyone's said that for about 3 years now. Felt like last year it was a late surge that kept them up with our mate Bodvarsson and Burrell up front. They're both gone. And I'm not inspired by their recruitment again. Third bottom, I've got Mansfield, who were looking good probably about halfway through last season. I remember when they beat us at their place in January. They might have gone above us. Anyway, they were a shout for the playoffs, and ever since then, they dropped like a stone. And again, I'm not really inspired by their recruitment. And fourth bottom, which I might be on my own here, I've gone Peterborough United. Because
I toyed with it, Ben. I toyed with it. I did.
Someone send it to Dara. Get it on his podcast.
Well, they've gone from everyone's favourite team, having loads of exciting young players that they're all going to sell on for millions, and they've ended up pretty much selling the whole squad from 2 seasons ago in the playoffs for not a load of return. To be fair, obviously they fleeced us for Randall, and they've lost still.
Stop it.
No, I'm joking. They got a bit for Randall, got a bit for Mothersill. They're going to get a bit for Poku, but at the end of the day, they're getting decent money for all these players. But again, I'm not. There's only so long you can buy young and sell on, and then your young players that you buy don't hit again. And I think that's going to happen this season. And they toyed with it last season. They only just kind of scraped a relegation battle in the last few weeks. And I think it's their time.
I think Peterborough is one of those where it really could go either way for them this season. They'll either overperform or drastically underperform.
I've got them in mid-table obscurity, personally.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, certainly not relegation, but interested in that.
Fair points.
Yeah.
Colin, run us through your bottom four.
Yeah, of course. So I'll start from the bottom up. Good evening, everybody. I know I ain't said quite much just yet, which is unusual for me. I've gone with AFC Wimbledon being bottom. I think losing Josh Newville, I think he pronounced his surname, which I think is one of the better players from last season. I think he's gone to Bradford. And they've relied pretty heavily on free transfers. So I think that would suggest that the Dons are going to struggle a little bit this season to bridge that gap. A little bit like Ben, although I do appreciate that his knowledge of players, certainly in the lower leagues, is probably better than mine. I'm very much similar to his mindset in terms of the not being very inspired by the window so far. So yeah, I've got like many others, I would suspect AFC Wimbledon to be bottom. Exeter City, 23rd. I think this is where we're going to see our first managerial casualty. I think it's going to be a season too far for Exeter, this one. I think Gary Caldwell will get the boot early. Well, say early, the first one of the season, as far as the managers are concerned. I like him, but I just think that the panic button will set in. I know, obviously, they're a fan-led club and whatnot, but still, I think they still got a desire to stay in this division as best they can. So, yeah, I think they'll push the button early. Mansfield have gone 20 seconds. I think they've added a bit of experience in Kyle Noyle. Is that the correct pronunciation? Yeah. But I do think that the Stags, as they're called, I think, could find it quite difficult to stay up this season on the back of a decent season, I think, last season for them, I think, in the most part. And I've gone Doncaster Rovers in 21st. Big return list would obviously suggest that Grant McCann's trying to rebuild really in safety, not glory. I think in this year, I think they'll go down. Too big of a jump, I think, for Doncaster.
Good show.
There you have it. There's your bottom fours. We'll round off with mine. 24th place. I've gone, like many of you, Wimbledon.
Was that full house?
No, not me.
No,
22nd for me.
Burton, I think. Did you have Burton dead last?
No, I had Exeter.
Oh yeah. 24th Wimbledon. Like I said, I just think it's a jump too far. Similar to what you've all already said. There's not really much I can elaborate because we've all got the same teams, really, just a couple mixed about here and there. 23rd, I've gone for Northampton. I won't try and do an accent, though. 22nd, I've got Exeter. So sorry, John Beer. And then a final apologies go to Ed Walker, because I believe Burton Albion will also be a victim of the drop. So I've got them in 21st place.
It's a Brewers dream.
I think there'll obviously be one or two watching, specifically Jake of Lincoln. He'll be probably wondering where I've put Lincoln, and they were pretty close to my bottom four. Just to add to this, I've got them at 19th.
Shots fired.
They'll struggle this season significantly, and that is not just from what I've seen in terms of the kind of pre-season, but having talked to Jake recently, he's not very much looking forward to this season. So
yeah, I was messaging him today because I was saying about how we're doing our predictions tonight. Just wanted to get a grasp on what he thinks of them, and he said anywhere between 11th and 15th. And as we all know, we're all a little bit biased to our club. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were right with around 18th, 19th. I think they're gonna struggle.
Struggle, yeah, big time. Mm. Another team as well, unfortunately, I think I'll struggle up with Barnes. I've got them as 17th.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that.
Maybe we'll add two categories onto this: your underperformers and then your dark horses.
Yeah, so I've gone off on a tangent, Anna Ben. Sorry, get us back in line.
No, you're very right though. I think it's also pertinent to mention that we have Paul in the chat, who is a Huddersfield Town fan. Good evening, Paul.
Come on, Ange, get your accent out for Huddersfield. What do they sound like?
I mean, it's Yorkshire, isn't it?
This will be good.
Let me
channel Emmerdale. Hang on.
Come on, you've got 24 teams to get through.
Does they ever whip it?
There you go. Brilliant. There you go, Paul. That's what you sound like, allegedly. According to Ange.
You are welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you for coming on the pod this evening.
This is the Fanzone podcast. Don't bring you top tier entertainment. What else would you rather be doing with your Wednesday evening, folks?
Unbelievable.
I'd say stick around, Paul, because I reckon you're going to be quite happy, I think, certainly.
Yeah, I think you might be involved in the conversation a little bit.
Probably the reason why you're here, I would suspect.
yeah. Although if you'd like to just humble yourself a little bit, just go and listen to our reactions from last season about where we all thought you were going to finish. Right then. So yeah, at the end of this, we'll do your dark horses. Maybe some of your dark horses are the ones that break into the playoffs, or maybe even promotion. or those that you think are just going to overperform what people would expect from them, and then we'll do your underachievers who you think is going to be a real flop. So those where the expectation is quite high and who are going to really fall short, kind of like a Huddersfield last season. Just
Or us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's have it right. Yeah.
I'll take that. Okay, right. Let's have our playoff contenders then. Ironically, not many Wanderers fans put ourselves in this category last season. We were all very optimistic of automatic promotion, and I'd be interested to see whether it's a familiar story this time round. Ange, you were very optimistic of the playoffs, of promotion last season. You actually had us top of the league.
Of course I did.
And she still
Have you
won.
put us somewhere similar this
Still.
season?
Yeah.
What should give us your playoff teams?
Right, so I must have had every single team in this at one point or another when I was doing it earlier. So I'll go from 6th up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone Blackpool 6th.
Don't tell us who's going to win either until the end.
I won't.
We'll go one at a
I'll
time.
hold it. I'll hold my breath.
Thanks.
I've got Plymouth 5th. I've gone Bolton 4th.
So,
I mean, I always put us in top 2, and we've never done it. So I'm changing strategies.
it's very
I'm
true.
not really as bothered about winning this as I am about being promoted.
Yeah.
So I've changed strategy. And then I've gone Stockport 3rd. And I don't know why any of it.
Yeah.
So
Fair
I
enough.
expected nothing less.
I mean, Blackpool have done some good business, so that's
Yeah,
why they
agree
slipped
with
in
that.
there. Plymouth have just come down and not done. I don't think they've done great amounts, but they had a championship-ish side there or thereabouts last season. So that's my thinking with those two. We're just us, done some nice business. A lot of injuries early doors, just been a little bit worrying. But you've got to have a bit of faith. And then Stockport, because even though they didn't on paper probably have the best team last season, they ramped it. They did well. So that's hopefully not on the 3rd of August. But anyway, that's my playoff.
I think your optimism in Bolton season is well placed. We to be fair, we have looked shit hot in pre-season. So I think that's fair. Who should we go to next? Ben, give us your top teams in the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, I found this a lot harder than last season. I think I found like reasons why teams shouldn't be in the top 6 more than I could find reasons why they should. To be honest, I feel like there was little red flags everywhere. But 6th, I've gone for Blackpool. I mean, I must admit, I turned the nose up when they appointed Bruce last season, but I think they have recruited. I think they have sorted out and recruited for Bruce this season. They brought in George Honeyman, a kind of not a journeyman, but he's done well wherever he's been in the EFL. Still think he's probably a championship player. They've got 2 big centre halves, Hickway and Horsfall. Horsfall was one of Stockport's best players last season. Got Danny Imre, who did well on loan in League 2 last season. Niall Ennis, who scored goals for Blackpool on loan last season. A couple of good keepers, and they've not lost that much, really. Rob Apter's the big one who's gone to Charlton, but I don't think he tore it up, really. I think they're signing for potential there. And yeah, I just think they've gone a bit under the radar recruitment-wise. Obviously, didn't have the season we expected to last season. I think I put them in my top 6 again, but yeah. I don't know why. Do I like Blackpool? Don't really know why, but I've got them in 6th. In 5th, I've gone for Leyton Orient, who at first, when I looked at this, I looked at their outs and thought, God, they've lost quite a bit, and they have. And I thought last season, out of the teams in the playoffs that I didn't want to go up, I did think Leyton Orient, because I was thinking half a team is built on loans, and they're all going to go, and they're not going to be as good this season. Obviously, they've lost Kelman, Donnelly, Keeley, Curry, Galbraith is gone, and Dan Adji's gone. The legend Darren Pratley's retired as well. They've lost quite a lot, but I think they've recruited pretty well. They've got El Mazzuni, who they had a couple of seasons ago on loan. He was great in League 2 and in League 1. Dimitri Mitchell, Aaron Connolly, Josh Karoma, who was on and off Huddersfield last season, but I think he's a championship player on his day. And more than anything, I just think Richie Wellens has proven he's one of the best managers in this league. I think he's been adaptable. He's no one had Leyton Orient as top 6 last year,
No.
and he proved everyone wrong. So I think they'll do it again. In 4th, I've gone for Bolton. I think, look, I've loved how we've looked in pre-season so far. I just think there's quite a lot of unknowns so far for us to put us top 2 and be confident about it, especially ahead of some of the championship teams that have come down. I like our squad, but again, it's based on a few pre-season games. I do still think it's recording this today. If maybe in a few weeks when we sign a couple of strikers or strengthen the midfield, I would be a bit more confident. But today I think we're light up front. I think we could do with another midfield and maybe another full back. But I am excited about our signings, and again, our big main factor really is Schumacher. He's done it here with Plymouth. He's won the league, and he did okay in the championship. And I have no real reason to doubt him. We had a bad end to last season, but he's cleared out. He done a massive clear out one that I didn't see coming as big as it has been. I didn't think we managed to shift on sort of Collins and Thomason, even though I don't think Thomason was really a problem, but we've got decent money for it. Yeah, I think I went bold last year. I think I put us 2nd, but yeah, I'm same as Ange. I'm going to put us in the playoffs this year, and hopefully it swaps round. And then 3rd, I'm not sure if Paul will be happy about this. I think he'd rather be in top 2, but I've gone Huddersfield. I think they've done really good business. The Slimmer Tools have had a massive clear out there. Retain and release list was double the size of ours. And they've signed well. Alfie May obviously is the big one, isn't he? He scores goals at this level. Lyndon Gooch, bit of experience. Sean Rowan from Lincoln that Jake loves. Marcus Harness has done it at this level before. Joe Lowe, Watmo, Marcus McGuane, Owen Goodman, who was great for Wimbledon last year. I like the signings.
Agreed.
It blows my mind that your brain withholds so much knowledge about League One.
Oh, I do have notes here. Don't worry.
All right. Okay.
Did you have those notes last season?
Not as much, I don't think. I think I just jotted down.
Yeah. You mentioned that you thought Blackpool were in your top playoff spots.
Yeah.
Last season they weren't actually.
They weren't.
Not to rub it in or anything. Your tops, your playoff teams were Lincoln in 6th, Rotherham in 5th to be promoted.
Yeah.
To which you said they could be top 2 in February or March, and they were about 14th. You had Charlton in 4th. So you got that one right. Everyone apart from me and Carl got that right. And then Huddersfield in 3rd.
I think this is the thing about doing predictions, obviously before the window closes, but also people seem to bizarrely forget that you still have January to strengthen and push on. It's like everybody seems to think that you should spunk all your money in the summer, excuse my French, and then January kind of doesn't exist. You can really push on in January, can't you? Mm-hmm. So it's a combination of many things. I think that as well as how difficult, of course, it is to predict this type of thing.
And also, I was going to mention this when we did the bottom fours.
At the end of the season, very boring.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to mention this when we did the bottom fours also. On the other end of the spectrum, you have teams where you think you're going to be rubbish because you think the squad's rubbish now and the manager's rubbish now. They sack the manager in 3 months' time, get someone else in, and you can't... As in what we've all said about Burton the last 3 years, they've started rubbish, sacked the manager, got someone else in and stayed up. So it's always hard to tell, isn't it?
And then you also get some real pedigree horses running around on them League One shitey pitches and doing themselves all sorts of mischiefs. So it's that sort of league where that's why it's so hard to get out of. You literally just don't know what you're going. It's like the crystal maze of leagues.
It's an absolute shambles of a division, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Chris, let's have your playoff teams, please.
Can you, before I kick off, can you, not literally, can you go through what my predictions were last season, please?
I'd love to, actually.
Smash it, thanks.
Chris, your playoff spots. You did better than me. I got no points. You had Rotherham in 6th. You had Peterborough in 5th, who were 18th. Charlton in 4th, bravo. And 3rd place to be promoted, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah. Wow. I genuinely did not remember. So I'm going to go from 3rd down to 6, and you'll find out why. Because, again, I've gone for Bolton Wanderers Football Club.
To be, no, you're not allowed to say to be promoted. We'll do that.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. No, we'll save it to the end. Okay. Bolton in 3rd. I think as Ben touched on, we've made some clever signings as opposed to anything that's anything like a statement marquee signing. I think we've made some good signings, some future talents on longer term contracts. Obviously, the concern being that I'd argue that 2 are the best signings that we've made in Sam Dolby and Richard Taylor have both suffered injuries in pre-season. That is a real issue. It's a real issue in terms of what we do now. There are other areas that need filling, but we're going to have to go back into those areas to get cover. It's a concern. Obviously, we all know that it's up top where we're lacking. We need a signing. We need somebody. I think a lot of people have said, "Oh no, we wouldn't go for Alfie May," and I don't think we ever did. I don't think we ever even sniffed around him. But that kind of signing would have been ideal. We'll see. As Jack says, 10 days until the season starts. No senior fit strikers, but obviously we've got some firepower on the wings. I don't know. There's a long way to go in terms of the window. In 4th, I've gone for Stockport County. Dave Challoner has rated very, very highly as a manager, and I think he's capable of getting in the mix this season with Stockport. 5th, I've gone for Blackpool. As Ben touched on, some really, really good business. It's Steve Bruce is really sort of coming into his own. I think he did great last season. Did they finish, 2 points behind us, which isn't really a measure. Was it 2 points behind us? Or it might have even been a point. They were very close to us, which isn't a measure of a good season, to be fair, but they did well, and I think they'll kick on this season. And in 6th place, I've gone for Cardiff City. I just think they're going to cause problems in this league. Firepower-wise, excellent, good support, big club. I think they'll be in the mix, and I think they'll be 6th.
I'm feeling like that's a quote that's going to come back to bite Chris on his ass. Do you know when Ben does those quotes and the post reaction? Oh,
yeah. Hey, I don't mind. If it gets likes and engagement, I don't mind.
I hope it is, because they know when DMI top 6.
I, for one, hope that Chris isn't too far away with that one, because I also have Cardiff in my... Somebody tends to run you through mine. 6th place, Stockport. I think they've recruited pretty smartly. They've done some good business. We saw what they were capable of last season. Wanderers saw what they were capable of a little bit too harshly than I would have liked, but there you have it. Dave Challoner, I think he's a great manager, and I think they'll have took some tough lessons from their playoff campaign, and they'll be there or thereabouts next season. 5th place, I have Cardiff. Chris, similar to what you've said, I think they will cause some issues. I think the bookies have got them pretty decent odds on being promoted or in the mix at least. I think they've just got enough. Blackpool were my tough choice for that one, but I think Blackpool will just miss out, and a very just miss out. 4th place, I've got Bolton. I've similar to what people have said. I really, really have liked how we've looked in pre-season. It's filled me with some confidence. and all I can hope is that confidence isn't misplaced. And in third place, I've gone for Plymouth. I think they've got a decent squad. There's some talent in there, and I think they've got enough to be in the mix come the end of the season. So that leaves Colin.
It does indeed. I have gone. Just bring my notes back up. I've gone with Stockport in 6th, with somewhat of a caveat. I think as good as Dave Chandler is, and I think he's very well respected across the EFL as obviously a good manager. I do feel that if an opportunity comes up to manage a bigger club, sorry, Stockport fans, I think he may very well take that opportunity. So that is Stockport in 6th, but with the caveat that if he doesn't get snapped up by somebody else when stuff starts hitting the fan, then that might change. I shouldn't put caveats in because you could caveat all of them, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Caveats don't count in end of league.
Yeah.
Season.
No, you added a caveat to what you predicted last season as well.
Or this caveat from last season?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to pad the pod out and make it a little bit more interesting.
You don't need to. We're already 36 minutes in. We've barely said anything.
I can't exactly remember what his caveat was, but it was something like
something like Bolton will win the league unless they don't win the league, and then
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll carry on as Anne just already told me that we're running.
Yeah.
I've gone Plymouth in 5th position. I think obviously Tom Cleverly's had a pretty busy transfer window. They've got Tolarov in, from what I understand. I think it's a pretty decent player. They've bid, I think, £1 million for is it Burrell? Is it Ben? You'll know better than me from Burton.
Yeah.
And I think that shows kind of decent amount of ambition from their owners. I've gone 4th. I've gone Wickham. I'm a big fan of Mike Dodds. I think he's got on playing kind of high energy football. I think he revitalised him a little bit last season. I think they'll have a bit of a surge into that playoff mix personally. And let's be honest, they've got a bit of backing behind them as well. And also it's a tricky place to go in it, Adams Park. So
they've managed to keep hold of Kone so far, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
they have.
It's a hell of a
and
job.
in third place, I've got Luton. Obviously, I think they've kept together a decent amount of that squad. They've added, I think, a decent keeper in Josh Keeley. They've obviously got parachute payments as well, which will obviously help them. I know they're keeping a lot of money back for the new ground, aren't they? But still, I think it'll help them. So yeah, Stockport, Plymouth, Wickham, and in third place, Luton Town.
Now that either means you're confident of a Wanderers automatic promotion,
Don't give
or
it away.
you've not put them in your top 6.
You have to wait and see.
All the time will tell.
There you are.
Type people to find out.
Wasn't scripted or anything. Your top 2, your promotion candidates, which for those of you again who watched our predictions, our reactions to our predictions, if you haven't, even after this episode, go and watch them because you'll still laugh.
It's a farce.
This section produces some corkers. It really, really does. We were all unanimous last season that Birmingham were going to win the league, apart from Ange. Big budget doesn't mean they're going to win it, does it, Ange? No,
that was my bite on the arse quote.
Yes, it does.
And yes, this one brings out some corkers. McQuaid had Bolton Wanderers in 2nd. And I just have to bring this one up again because it was phenomenal.
Go on,
There's
then.
not another team in the division who has the quality and depth that we have. I think we have the most complete squad in the league.
What are you talking about?
Ay, caramba, that's a stinker, that, isn't it? But
To be fair, I wasn't alone, was I?
best
I
team.
think in Ben's defence, if they'd have sacked him after the Huddersfield game, and then I think he might have been there and thereabouts because it might have been a different story.
I don't agree with that because I think we saw the minerals of those players last season.
We did,
And
but a
now-
lot stems from confidence, though, doesn't it, Chris? And they had none.
Oh, a lot of it does, mate. Yeah, and I think a lot of these players that we've sold and moved on will go on to do good things. But
Well, I think in Ben's defence, a lot of them have moved higher up. So what does that tell you?
yeah, mad, innit?
Cheers, Cole.
Funny old game.
But then you could say the same. A lot have moved down. So
Yeah, League Two. Anyway,
top.
But having said that, I think MK Dons are building a League One team in League Two. So
yeah, it's a loss.
Yeah, well, they've still not gone up, have they? They've gone down or sideways in that case.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't think, as silly as it sounds, even though they're in League Two, I don't think MK Dons is down, if that makes sense, because they
it's
literally
not
are.
up, is it?
No, I know, I get that. It's a silly thing to say, but I mean, what they're building,
building.
Yeah, what they build, the project they've got, and the long-term plan of the club, I think is beyond down. If that
and that's getting over an average of about 4,500 in a 30,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, ludicrous.
Anyway, League Two.
Let's have your predicted promotion candidates then, please, Angela.
Yeah, did David miss the bit where I explained why I had not put Bolton in the top two? Because it was
possibly.
indeed to change my strategy of putting him in the top two and as not
reverse psychology.
It's reverse psychology. Yeah. It's
but
not
therefore thinking.
You will find out here probably, David, why Wanderers aren't in your top two when people explain who is there.
Happy to lose points in this section. So second place, I have gone Huddersfield. Probably done the best transfer work of this window. Like Collins said, it's not the only window we get. So let's not count too many chickens. But certainly, if they don't start strongly, then there has to be questions over the business they've done. I can't see them starting anything other than strong, but that's why they're in my top two. And then I've just put Luton first because they're just going to win it.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Ben, would you like to grace us with your predictions, please?
Yeah, to be honest, I just had a look this afternoon and just thought I'm going to look through the squads. And my top two are Luton and Cardiff, if no one's guessed already. Not saying much already yet, but when I was looking through the squads, obviously the window's not over yet. Some of them might still leave. I just found myself looking at 8 to 10 players who I'm thinking they're championship level players there. Yeah. And again, the only caveats were kind of
caveats.
the only red flags were how many they're going to be there by the end of August, and the managers really. So second, I have gone Cardiff. I think they probably have the best striker in the division in Salek, who joined in January last season, got 8 goals in 14 starts, and I will be shocked if he's still here by the end of August. To be honest,
he's a top 6 championship player, isn't he? Let's have it right. And
he's 6'4", so it's not like he'll get drowned out by the big centre halves in League One. And when you look through their team, obviously Salek, Chris Willock was probably a top 6 championship player a couple of seasons ago. Perry and G, Ryan Wintle, David Turnbull, Callum Chambers in the Premier League not too long ago. Callum Robinson, same with him. Ruben Colwell's a bright young player. Alex Robertson was one of Portsmouth's best players before he got injured in their promotion season. I look at their squad and it scares me a little bit, to be honest. The only red flag is their manager, is because even though everyone seems to have good things to say about Brian Barry Murphy, he did a decent job at Rochdale a few years ago and has been in the City Academy and has done a very good job there. Just obviously, slight red flag is he's not managed for quite some time now. And I think if he's come through the City Academy, is he going to go with the heavy possession style, which seems to have kind of drowned out over the last few years? Obviously, that's what we did with Everton, and it didn't take teams long to figure out how to combat it. So, I don't know, that's my only little thing, but I just think their squad's too good anyway. I think they'll finish top 2. So, top, I have got Luton, who, again, looking through their squad, it's just filled with names that, half of them were players they bought in the Premier League for when they come back down to the Championship to be all right. Obviously, that didn't end up going their way, but Mark McGuinness, Teddy Mengi, Mads Anderson, who was one of the best centre-halves a couple of years ago for Barnsley in League One, Tahith Chong, Alfie Doughty, Elijah Adebayo, who scored 10 goals in the Premier League 2 seasons ago, had a bad season last year, but he's not turned a bad player overnight. Isaiah Jones, who was one of the best young players in the Championship a couple of years ago for Borough. Shannon Baptiste, Millie Ali, who was great for Exeter last year. Naki Wells, who scored goals for fun in the Championship over the last 10 years. Cal Naismith, Josh Keeley, who was one of the best keepers in League One last year for Orient. And to top it off, the man not leading the line for them, in the dugout for them, is Matt Bloomfield, who deputised brilliant for Wickham last year, got snapped up by Luton. And although he didn't keep them up last year, it took him a while to get going. They had a great end to last season. And if it wasn't for basically all the teams in the bottom 8 having good runs towards the end of the season, they would have stayed up. They finished on, someone can correct me, 49, 50 points, one of the highest points tallies for a relegated team. I just think, I don't think they've lost a huge amount. And without them doing a huge amount of business, I just think their squad is brilliant. And Matt Bloomfield has got a good CV in this division.
Just to add to what you said, Ben, the only thing I'd say about a lot of what you've just said, I think you made some very good points and nailed it in the most part. But do you not think that, given the fact that they have had back-to-back relegations, and you've rightly said a few of them in and around the Prem not long back, from a mindset thing and that shift from losing every week to then having to expect to win every week and thinking you're going to win every week as a player could be a huge problem when you drop into a division like this.
It's a pressure.
Absolutely could be. I mean, that's probably what happened last season. They went down thinking, we gave a good crack at it in the Premier League, but it's all right, we'll be okay in the Championship. And
basically, they think they're better than they are as well. Yeah, that's another thing. And
again, 6-7 of them names I've just read out might be gone by the end of August. Because
there you go. Here's an update from a Luton fan. Good evening, Liam. So Mengi injured today, and Chong is up for grabs. Obviously,
I can imagine. So again, he's a player they signed in the Premier League to help them stay up, and if not, get them back up in the Championship. So I can't imagine many of them will stick around. But to me, I don't know. I've got to do my prediction based on right now. I can't see into the future too long.
Can't start banging caveats and everything if they don't lose.
No, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
Well, that's it. We can only deal with where we are now, can't we? We can only deal with where we are now on the 23rd of July.
Yeah. If we sign 2 brilliant strikers, maybe I'll put us in the top 2. But
totally.
But can I just interrupt very quickly, Ben Timberlake? You've got a piece of strand of hair sticking right off your head. It's driving me insane. Can you sort it out?
Who, me? No.
Yeah.
Get your prick stick out, Benji. Get your prick stick out.
Go on.
For the lads.
Colin, give us your top 2, please. I'd love to hear it.
Of course. I know Ben's just said that he can't think too far in advance, and he's got to do it based on no. I don't think you do. So I've gone with Huddersfield to finish top.
Didn't you say before that you can't predict into the future because you've got January transfer window and there's...
What I mean is you can think a little bit ahead in terms of what you might do in the window is what I'm
obviously
getting
you can predict a month into the future, Ben, easily, but a few months. Cole can anyway.
Well, exactly. But I've gone with Wanderers finishing second and Huddersfield finishing first. The reason why I've gone with us finishing in the top 2 is because I think we've got a strong squad. We've got a very, very strong manager. We've now got a very, very strong infrastructure around the manager. I think that we will build by the time the window's ended, and I think we'll go again in January as well. And I think we've got a squad that's a lot more streamlined this season than we've had previously. And I think by the time we finish in the window, that'll help us significantly. And let's be honest, I think they've also gained a lot of experience over the last few years as well, which counts for a lot in this division in terms of, overcoming adversity and, trying and getting into them playoffs or getting into them top 2 spots. So I think it counts for an awful lot. Wanderers second. I also think adding Xavier Simmons or Simons, whatever you'd like to pronounce it, in midfield is a big thing. Having that box-to-box midfield who's obviously very, very good on the ball as well is going to help us massively, especially getting them balls out to the wide areas, which is obviously what we want to do to build up through them parts of the pitch. So that's massive. And I think Sam Dalby will shed loads of goals this season because he's obviously coming off last season. He was flying, weren't he? Let's be honest. So, let's be optimistic and think positively. Huddersfield, I think, as being top, they've got obviously they had a decent squad last season, which obviously underperformed, but they've added better players, I think, this time around to the squad, which obviously Ben touched upon earlier. My only question mark is over the manager, Lee Grant, who is at best a very, very basic goalkeeper during his playing days. And how he can transition into a manager, how he'll be able to transition into a manager will be very, very interesting to see from the sidelines. So yeah, that's a bit of a question mark for me. I think if I was a Huddersfield fan, I'd be very, very, very underwhelmed with that particular appointment personally. But yeah, I think it could all go wrong for him very quickly. We saw last season, didn't we, when Rotherham supposedly brought in loads of really good League One / Championship players, and look how that ended. So who knows?
And to flip it on its head, what you just said though, they brought in the manager that was the promotion expert in the League One. You know, had all the experience.
Also very true. It just shows how much of a shambles.
And there have been a lot of very good managers who have been mediocre players. So
yeah. To be fair, Lee Grant is one of the reasons I put them outside the top 2, because I just have no idea how good a manager he is. So I am with you, but I just think it is very hard to predict, especially a new manager, how good they're going to be, because how do you know?
Yeah, I think
surely with that amount of money though, if he's not doing very well, he's gotta be gone.
He'll be gone soon.
Early doors.
What I will say is I think them top kind of 4 teams, there'll be a lot of swapping and changing throughout the season.
Yeah.
Moving on, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Wow, I'm good. It's going to be difficult to do this without going over a lot of stuff that's already been said, so I'll blast through it quickly, bearing in mind we're at 50 minutes. I'm going second place, Huddersfield Town. In a nutshell, what everybody said in terms of the signings, Lee Grant is a tough one to call. I think that anyone who has worked as closely as he has at Ipswich with Kieran McKenna, he's going to take something from that. I also think that attracting those players, he will be part of, unless they're just basically chucking massive wages at them, he's part of that negotiation piece as well. So he's obviously saying the right things to attract these players. So I've gone at a slightly different angle with that. But I just, in simple terms, I look at what they've done business-wise, and I think if we'd have done that, how would I feel? And I'd be absolutely delighted with that. There's a lot of really strong signings with intent in there. So second place, Huddersfield. First place, Luton Town. One of the words that was thrown into the mix was complacency. I suppose you could call it arrogance. I don't think Matt Bloomfield will have any of that. Tried and tested at this level. I just think they've got all the minerals to do it. So champions this season, which Liam Macca in the chat will be delighted about, I would say Luton Town.
Well, Chris, there's not much more I can add to that.
No.
Second place, I have Huddersfield Town. First place, I have Luton Town.
There you go. Bish, bash, bosh. I think, one thing that I will say with Luton, I think there's, Ben, you mentioned one of the signings in Naki Wells, who I think will be crucial in terms of experience. But I think the one for me, which I think is a brilliant signing, is George Saville. That's just, I'd love him in the Bolton team. I would, if I could have one player to come in, he'd be up there. He'd be in the top 5. So there you go. Good signings. Shrewd.
There you go. Right. We will wrap up with our league predictions with a very quick fire, please. Promoted via the playoffs. Ben, will you do the honours of going first?
He said quick, Ben.
Are you on mute?
You're on mute, you clown.
I think Ben did that.
I've tried to be professional by being mute when other people are talking, and I forget to turn it back off. Yeah, Bolton, why not?
Fair news.
Chris?
Cardiff City.
Colin?
I think it'll be third time lucky for them going to Wembley, having been beaten against Wimbledon and us in them other competitions. So I'm going to go with Plymouth.
And Ange?
A Bolton.
Likewise, I've also gone for Bolton. Just keep everything crossed. Right.
Just to keep us as stressed as we possibly can for as long as possible
Of
time
course.
ever.
How else would we want it?
Oh, yeah.
Right then. Okay, Wanderers predictions. I will ask us to be swift with these and not too long. We need your player of the season. So who you think is going to be the best player, your top scorer, signing of the season, which can be different from player of the season. I expect we are all probably going to have very similar answers for that. And your surprise of the season. And that's the one that you can elaborate on a little bit more. Ange, we will hand over to you first.
I swear to God, I must have had every single player on this cross-out written again. So, player of the season, I have decided on Jamie Simons.
Oh.
I had ACD and I had Richard Taylor in there and crossed out, and then yeah. Anyway, top scorer, I've gone Dolby because I don't think we've got many other options when he's back and fit, or / caveat some new
No
that we don't know yet. So yeah, so it'll be Dolby. Signing. I'm going Simons again.
Oh.
I did have Thierry Gale on there as well, but I will go with Simons. And then surprise package, I'm going with Sam Inwood, por favor.
I like that.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, let's have yours.
Right. Player of the season, I'm going Aaron Morley. I think that very, very briefly that he's got competition in that area. I think that he will excel and I think he will step forward. I think he will relish the opportunity of a new season under the guidance of Mr. Schumacher, Ian Hesker, surprise of the season, Adebayo. He'll come back in January minus the bandage and smash 20 goals in half the season. I agree wholeheartedly. And tomorrow is Sunday. No, it's not. Top scorer, I've put a question mark because we haven't got a striker. So
I will say for anyone, sorry, just for anyone reading the chat and seeing the comment, if you're listening back on audio, we should probably get into the habit of doing this, but there are far more of you that watch back. Ian has said, surprise of the season will be Adebayo. He'll come back in January minus the bandage and smash 20 goals in half a season. It's worth mentioning, I know Ian, and he is definitely saying that in jest.
Oh, really?
But anyone who had a slight doubt...
Yeah, hey, I'm behind Vic all the way.
I have to clarify because we all said outrageous things last season.
Yeah.
Well,
We didn't all say outrageous things.
Heskey is one of the guys that goes to the match.
Daniel Quaid said a lot of outrageous things last season.
Yeah, I will confirm he is saying it in jest. Yeah.
I will top scorer. I'm actually going to go Thierry Gale. If I'm going to really, really put my neck on the line. Signing of the season. This was a tough one. Obviously, we signed 8 players. There's plenty more to come. No. Gareth Wheeler, Ricardo Santos off injured after 17 minutes for Swansea. 2. Signing of the season, I've also gone for Thierry Gale. I did have Richard Taylor. I just see loads of potential in him. Just bothers me with this injury. It's a bit of, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit paranoia based on our injury record that it's going to be worse than it actually is. But either there or thereabouts. And surprise of the season, I've gone for a couple of double barrels. I've gone for Teddy Sharman-Lowe. I think he looks, and I think that probably this was taken from the Barrow game more than any. I just think he looks really assured. He just looks a different caliber of goalkeeper to what we're used to.
Yeah.
I think he looks excellent.
Bloody thunder here, Chris.
Eh?
You're stealing my bloody thunder here.
Sorry. No, I'm not. Not sorry at all. And I think he's going to be pushed really close by who I think will be our next captain because Taylor's injured, and that's Josh Dakers-Cogley. I think he will have an excellent season. Going back to what he prefers to do, I think he'll excel. I think he'll really kick on this season. So between those two.
Excellent at Hibs. Really, really good.
Yeah. I don't take too much from pre-season friendlies, but I just see there's a massive change in how we set up, how we're going into games, how we're a lot more aggressive. We look like we're biting in the tackle, and we missed that so much last season. So that's what's impressed me the most. But those are my choices for the new season.
Lovely. Okay.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Did you have 2 surprises then?
Yeah, but I'm going to go Teddy Sharman low.
You don't get no points if you use this caveat one.
Oh, I didn't say caveat once. Or red flag, or white flag.
Right. Colin, we'll hand over to you. Last but not least, I'll give you mine. I'll fly through mine first.
I've not gone yet.
Just because I have a feeling yours are going to be a little bit different than what most people have said, but mine are pretty similar. My player of the season is Cozier Dubry. I think, from what I've seen so far, I'm very, very happy with that little bit of business. There were a lot of Championship fans in the replies to his signing announcement, being particularly surprised that he'd managed to come down a level, and impressed by the business. And I think that's a testament to the talent that we've acquired. Top scorer Dolby. Hopefully, he just stays fit. That'll do. Just play football, please. Signing of the season, I've gone for Thierry Gale. How much have we missed wingers? It's like watching a different sport with players that can cross a football. And now I'm going to have to caveat my surprise of the season now, because apparently no one's really surprised by it. I had my surprise package as Richard Taylor. I thought he'd gone a little bit under the radar. I've not seen much on Twitter about him. I think he is going to be unbelievable, but clearly so does everybody else. And Max Conway, similarly, I didn't put him because I think everyone is now expecting big things from him. So I didn't put him as my surprise because I think he's going to do what we've anticipated.
Yeah.
So my new surprise package is
Come on.
He told us to be quick.
I know.
We all
Colin, you
also,
do
who
close enough.
decides who this is, Ben?
No.
You're the person that decides who the bloody winner of the things are, because we don't have a category at the end of season awards that is surprise package. So how are we quantifying who is the surprise package?
We'll do a poll this season. Last season, everyone was rubbish. There was no point giving out prizes.
Yeah. Agreed.
So my surprise package, I'm undecided on, but I will decide by the end of the episode.
Right.
Colin, please run us through yours.
Go on then. Right. I am going to say that this next season, we're not actually going to score that many goals, and I think we're going to be more focused and better on the defensive front. So you'll be quite surprised with my choices. I think we're going to be pretty solid this next season. And the goals will be more spread out. That's my prediction. So my player of the season is Teddy Sharman-Law. I think he will be very, very impressive for us and keep plenty of clean sheets. Top goal scorer, as a result of what I've just said, I think it'll be John McAtee. I think the goals will be spread spread out a lot, and I think he'll probably just pick one of the forwards, whoever it might be, as top goal scorer. Signing, I've gone for Richard Taylor. I think he, from what I've seen so far, very impressive. And I think given the fact that he'll be able to play left back and left side of centre half, will be pretty, well, worth its weight in goals. And surprise is Owen Toll, because people seem to think, or seem to have forgotten how good of a bloody player he is. And Tolley, who is my captain choice, will be the surprise, because I think he'll play week in, week out, be the captain, and lead us to promotion. Bosh.
Bash.
There you have it. Okay, my surprise package, Colin, I've kind of stole this from you. I think based on
Colin's summary.
Yeah.
Based on last season's performances, I think the most improvement will come from John McAtee, and that will make him the surprise package. I think we've caught a glimpse of that in pre-season. He looks sharp. He looks ready to go. And yeah, my surprise package is going to be John McAtee.
Nice.
We've had a comment actually, which I'm gonna bring up. Caveat is word of the week. Can we have a word of the week? Chris, would you like to pronounce that one for us?
Yes, it's dichotomy.
Good. It's not.
No, you're gonna let Ben do it. I like it when Ben.
No, you shouldn't have done that. Actually, that would have been a really bad idea.
Yeah, like epitome.
Like epitome.
Yeah. We will have a word of the week. Actually, that's what we'll do. We will every week. We will have a new word of the week, and one of us we'll take it in turns to go and find a word and bring it to the Fanzone podcast.
Make it relevant.
Yeah, maybe make it relevant. Maybe go completely unhinged.
All right, interesting.
We'll leave it.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Yes,
indeed.
please. Yes, please. Right. Finally, not last but not least, it wasn't Colin. And I definitely didn't forget Ben McQuaid. Let's have yours, please.
Can I just say, Mr. McQuaid, that I watched the World Club thing and saw that lad from Bournemouth playing for Real Madrid. What's he called? Dean Hyson? Yeah. Has anybody said that you look like him?
Oh, look.
Really?
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, he reminds me very much of you. Obviously, you're not as tall. But, yeah, there you go.
Cheers, mate. I don't know if it's a compliment or not, to be honest. Yeah, he's all right.
Not really. Just look like him.
Brilliant. I went back and forth on player of the season because I'll start with my surprise, who I wanted to go between who I've picked for player of the season just because I wanted to get him in, and Max Conway, who I've gone for in the end. But as you said, it's kind of hard to quantify what's a surprise, really, because before pre-season, I think if you'd have said he's going to start the season as our left back and score 2 goals in pre-season and look brilliant, then I think people would have been surprised. But now it's happened. Maybe people are expecting to be great. But yeah, to be honest, I'm more excited that we've finally got an academy product that looks like he's ready to start games for us and actually affect games and not just be there as a token academy player. Which is
Papa John's player.
3 years, to be fair. Yeah, as a Papa John's player. He looks ready to start games and dribble past 5 players and tuck in the bottom corner like he did against Shrewsbury. And like he did for Crawley last year against Doncaster away, I think it was, I saw the other day. So it's not the first time he's done it. I love him.
Bloody hell.
I am, apparently.
Tell you what.
For the audio listeners, Ben has just flashed a picture of Dean Howson, who apparently is my celebrity lookalike.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Is he wearing fake tan there?
Yeah, maybe.
Who, Ben? Oh, yeah, probably.
Why can't I see it? Where is it?
It's on the telly. It's on big telly. Right in front of you. You can't see it?
No.
Must be an iPad thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, carry on, Ben, please.
Anyway, transition to player of the season, who actually might be more of a surprise of the season, to be honest. I have gone for our mate Cole, Joel Randall.
Oh, like it.
Because he came in as a big signing who kind of got dismissed straight away because the guy who signed him got sacked a few days after. And he came into an absolute mess of a team that was getting changed every week, 7 different players every week, and he needs good players around him. And he was playing in a system that didn't suit him. To me, the couple of preseason games I've watched, he's looked really sharp. He makes intelligent runs off the ball. He's got 2 exciting wingers to feed. If we get a striker that he can feed as well, I think he'll enjoy it. And we've got more of a solid midfield base behind him to protect the back four and let him kind of go and do his stuff. So, look, this might be another Lolos moment where.
No, I don't think it will be.
I mean, I was hesitant because I think it's between him and McAtee for that number 10 shirt. So if McAtee starts the season brilliantly, then maybe Randall doesn't see a lot of game time. But I'm betting that Randall will do well.
Love it.
Yeah. Colin, I'm trying to talk, but you muted, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I was going to say you might see times where they might both be on the pitch at the same time, McAtee and Randall. It wouldn't surprise me anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a little shout out for Nerf because I think he's been written off by quite a lot of Bolton fans already because he came into
embarrassingly, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he showed it for a couple of seasons for Peterborough, especially his second season, if I remember correctly, their playoff campaign where he was one of their best players and hit double figures for goals and assists. So, expect some good things. For my sign of the season, I have gone Xavi Simons. I think he looks a cut above, to be honest. You can tell he's played in the Championship. Obviously, again, a couple of pre-season games is what this is based off, but he looks the most composed player on the ball. And yeah, I just think he looks great. And I think he's going to be one of them where he plays every week. And a bit like Sheehan a couple of seasons ago, is consistently probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. And then for my top scorer, I have gone Kozia Dewberry because maybe it's because we playing without a striker in pre-season, but the tactic seems to be give the wingers the ball as much as possible and let them do what they want. And the main game of the show was the Hibs game where Kozia Dewberry in the first half had 2 or 3 efforts where he absolutely did the fullback, cut inside, and the last one towards the far post. The first 3 went wide. I think 1 hit the post, I think Shuey said. And then the 4th one in the second half was a great strike into the top corner. So I think this is, like Cole said, I think this is going to be a season where the goals are shared around a bit more rather than a goal scorer or 1 or 2 goal scorers. I think the front four are going to be sharing the goals around. I think Kozia Dewberry is just going to edge it.
All a very fair assessment, and hopefully you are proved right this season because I would like that very much.
Same.
Thank you, please.
That is your Sky Bet League One predictions for the upcoming season. Thank you all very much for joining us.
No, it's not.
Benji, you got early onset dementia, man.
Are you forgetting?
The 6th Musketeer.
Yeah.
Callum Foy.
Don't give him too much stick. It's the first one back in it. We've had a long summer. You know what I mean? It's not easy.
We're rusty.
Yeah.
Statman. We've actually missed out his whole prediction. So yeah, I'll run you through them pretty quickly. The Statman, for those of you who don't know, is
don't say it. Don't say those words on this podcast. Don't mention that team on this podcast.
I'm not doing. For those of you who don't know him, he is our resident statman who serves the analysis and facts and figures and data that we all love very much here on the Fanzone podcast. You'll often see him on the preview show and on your post-match reactions, giving you a little bit of an insight into what to expect from upcoming games. So yeah, that is who he is, and his predictions for this season are as follows. Bottom 4, Northampton in last place, Burton Albion, and then Mansfield, and then Wimbledon. Now, he's put last twice in that, so I'm not sure which way around it is. But Northampton, Burton Albion, Mansfield, and then Wimbledon. So I'm assuming that's...
He's got the same 4 as me, so whatever is the winning order. Then we can have
Oh,
All right,
oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Oh,
that seems fair. His playoff teams, he's numbered these. Must have saw sense. Stockport in 3rd, Huddersfield in 4th, Cardiff 5th, and Plymouth 6th. And his top 2, Luton 1st, Bolton 2nd.
I love Callum, mate.
I'm going to read you these word for word because this is actually how he would say it if he was on the podcast as well. Player of the season, Thierry Gale, partly because he is actually quality, partly because everyone will overhype him because they've missed seeing wingers so much, but he will be mint. 'Tis important that the wingers don't get booed for dribbling and it not working because that will only make it worse. Wise words from the Statman. Your top scorer will be Dolby. All depends on if he stays fit. Caveat that probably shouldn't be in there. But he defo knows where the goal is. I'm not sure if Michael Owens took the Statman's phone off him. Outside shout of Randall. Can see him being on the end of lots of good patterns of play where he just gets a tap in because his movement is decent. Signing of the season, Sam Dolby. Replacing Collins was never going to be an easy task, but bringing in a man like him will help. All depends on if he can stay fit. Looking forward to seeing him some deep deliveries from Conway and JDC to the back post. Surprise of the season, Charlie Warren. Think he'll stay at the club until at least January and be involved often. Natural winger on either side, not shown the outrageousness of Gale or Cozier Dubry, but he will, but with his dribbling, not his shooting. There you have it. Live from the Statman.
What a man.
Wonderful predictions. And that rounds off this evening's episode.
Have you seen the number above your head? I know it's not a, but yeah, don't start.
We're going to change this. We're going to change. We're not going to call it live viewers. We're going to say thank you to the 922 of you who have tuned in throughout this evening. Because whether you're watching right now or you watched 30 minutes ago, it's a pretty impressive number, and it just keeps going up. So thank you very much. There are 924 of you that have at some point tuned in for an undescribed and undisclosed amount of time in this evening's episode. So
and that is a caveat.
It is indeed. It is indeed. 930 of you now. It keeps going up, which is weird because we are about to close off this evening's episode. So if you are just joining us, go and watch it back on YouTube or on Twitter, or you can catch it on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, all our socials for all of the latest news and updates on podcasts and things like that.
I think as well, Ben, it's worth mentioning on YouTube to hit the bell. Oh, there you go. Right on cue. Look at that.
I'll talk about Colin like that.
Beautiful. Love it. See how slick we are now. Because that'll remind you, it will send you an alert as to when the next podcast will be broadcast. So obviously you pick it up on Twitter. We'll be going live at 8:00, but it will give you a reminder if you click the bell as well as subscribe.
Ben, are you subscribed to that so you don't miss a pod?
I am. Thank you. I've got the bell on.
Burn.
Wait.
Right. That's enough rambling. We've taken up too much time of you wonderful people's evenings. Thank you very much for joining us. You've been watching the Fanzone podcast. We'll be back very, very soon with a very special episode. More on that to be confirmed very, very soon. Keep your eyes peeled on our socials. You will not want to miss it. So until the next time, take care. You've been watching the Fanzone podcast. See you later.
Thanks, everybody.